with our top story, and that is Market and Snap. Snap Inc., the parent company of Snapchat, set to begin trading today. Snap has priced its IPO above the target range at $17 a share. That values its company at nearly $24 billion. Joining us right now is Lindsey Bell. She's investment strategist at CFRA Research. And Lindsey, it's good to see you. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Well, after a 300-plus point rally yesterday, pretty good time to go public, huh?
Heck yeah, I think so. It's a great time.
That's when you wanted to price your stock.
Exactly. And if you think about the tech sector in general, it's been leading the market on a year-to-date basis, and they just came off a great fourth quarter earnings, so the fundamentals are there. So, you know, from a company perspective, maybe it's a little premature given that they're still building out their business, figuring out revenues and their users and things like that. But from a market standpoint, sure, it's great.
Yeah, but having said that, there haven't been a lot of IPOs this year, right? I mean,
right.
We're in sort of a quiet period in terms of, what, 4 deals just this month. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that's why demand for this one is so strong. Investors are really just starved for IPOs, and especially a tech IPO. I mean, if you think about last year, it was the slowest year for tech IPOs since 2009.
Yeah, would you buy it, Kevin Kelly?
I wouldn't, and there's a lot of concerns that came out through this roadshow, and how they're addressing those concerns is they're actually kind of locking up sort of who's getting the actual shares, and they're going to investment firms and saying, hey, you've got to hold this for about a year, because the main concerns is that, one, they're saying they're a camera company. Well, no, you're not. All your revenue is derived through advertising for one key demographic, and they're competing against Google and Facebook for that ad spend, when those two firms have the best data and analytics that advertisers are going to spend with. It takes a leap for an advertiser to go to the Snapchat platform, as well as they're using some different type of metrics. They're also wanting advertisers to shoot in vertical. So there's a lot of concerns, because when you have a company say they're a camera company, when really they're a social media company competing against Google and Facebook, that alarmed investors right off the gate. Also, valuation, 21 times sales. That's double what Facebook is trading at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the forecast is for $1 billion in sales for 2017. That would be more than a double in revenue growth for Snapchat this year. Snapchat, like Facebook was, like Google's YouTube was, is under pressure from advertisers to audit the metrics on the advertising. So the Media Rating Council is pushing Snapchat to have the ad metrics audited. Again, how much penetration are you getting? How effective are the ads? These are things that Snapchat's going to have to tell the very advertisers.
Well, they're having slowing user growth. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Slowing user growth. And internationally, they've already been knocked off. So they're not going after international users, and the users here in the U.S. are slowing down. And guess what? There's a funny rumor going around, or funny saying going around Wall Street right now during the roadshow. It's saying it's impressive that Evan Spiegel is taking Snap IPO, considering he's a chief product officer of Facebook, because Facebook has already knocked off their key programs.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, it's interesting because Snapchat said no. The CEO, Evan Spiegel, rejected that $3 billion deal to acquire the company by Facebook. That was actually the right move. Now that we're seeing the valuation at $24 billion.
I do think there is a tremendous opportunity for them. Look, I have the same concerns that you all just listed out here, but they do have a tremendous opportunity when you think of revenue per user. It's at an 83% discount to what Facebook is making. So if they can even just turn the current users they have and get money off of that up to that level, then that's something.
Get money off of their parents. That's a broad concern.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, is that their users are so much younger than Facebook. I mean, you know, your grandma friends you on Facebook, right, and not on Snapchat.
Right, exactly.
It's attractive.
And that's what makes it attractive. And the user engagement is much higher than on these other social platforms. So there are positives, but I tend to be in the same camp on the long-term perspective, that we'll see how they're able to monetize this thing.
Guys, check out this tweet. President Trump just tweeting this. Since November 8th, Election Day, the stock market has posted $3.2 trillion in gains, and consumer confidence is at a 15-year high. Jobs, the president just tweeting that out. And you know what? It's true. This market has been on fire. Yesterday, another 300-plus point rally. What do you think about this?
I mean, it's incredible, the move we've seen in the market. The Dow and the S&P had their first more than 1% gain since December 7th. So it's certainly animal spirits are alive and well, it seems like that.
And you have to say that, the market would not trade like that if there weren't optimism and positive feelings about what the policies are or expected to be coming out of Washington.
And you can never discount how important business confidence and consumer confidence is and how that could drive a market higher.
I'm glad we're talking and saying the words confidence because businesses didn't have it over the previous 8 years. And one of the reasons why is there was uncertainty. They didn't know what regulations were going to happen, so they weren't willing to do capital expenditures. That's why you saw stock buybacks go higher. But now businesses are planning for the future. They're wanting to reinvest. And so that's what's happening because they have the confidence and the certainty that this administration is going to do fiscal policies. They're going to reduce taxes. They're going to deregulate. And from the speech,
I can actually connect the Snapchat IPO to the Trump speech and the Trump administration because of the regulations. One of the reasons that you've seen the number of IPOs last year, 105, the lowest since 2009, is in part because of regulations. Amazon went public 3 years after founding. The Wall Street Journal editorial page points out it took 6 years for Snapchat to go public. And part of that is the regulations, not just in Dodd-Frank, but Sarbanes-Oxley. So if you look at deregulation, it will help spur companies founding and going public.
You're absolutely right, because, last year we saw people just saying, you know what, why should I go public? You know what, why should I stay public? Why not just take the company private? We saw all these privatizations rather than public deals because the regulatory environment was just too much for these companies and too expensive. Meanwhile, there's Facebook. In 2012, Facebook was viewed as having one of the biggest IPOs in technology. How do you think Snap compares to that? I mean, we know that Facebook is sort of at this point, the bar is up here.
Yeah, but I mean, remember, Facebook was down 20% the first 3 months after it began trading on the stock market. So
I forgot that. You're right.
Yeah, so we'll see. And if you think about the 10 largest tech IPOs, on average, they end up double digits. So there's definitely a big disparity there. Facebook was flat on the opening. Twitter was up 72% the first day. So we could see anywhere in between there, I think.
These names have done so well.
Facebook also did something else in 2012 that is critical to its business. It paid only $1 billion for Instagram, which the Journal equates with the Dutch buying Manhattan from Native Americans in terms of the price paid. So that, in terms of innovation, Snapchat is going to have to innovate and monetize its user base in the way that Facebook did, and that is a very, very high bar.
Facebook did something key and pivotal, though. They pivoted to mobile. They saw they weren't getting what they needed on desktop, and they are the dominant player in mobile. 85% of advertising spend for their platforms. Also, they have great leadership in Sheryl Sandberg that people really believe in. That's another key question about Snapchat, their leadership.
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, we'll keep watching it, Lindsey. Thank you so much. Lindsey Bell joining us there.